Rapamycin is one of the most intriguing compounds in the field of longevity research. It's not just another supplement or drug claiming to turn back the clock on aging. This drug has some serious science behind it. Originally discovered in the soil of Easter Island, rapamycin was first used as an antifungal agent. However, researchers soon discovered it had properties far beyond just fighting fungi. This compound could potentially extend life itself. So what exactly makes rapamycin so special? Why are researchers and longevity enthusiasts so excited about it? And how does it compare to other well-known compounds like resveratrol or NAD? To start, we need to understand how rapamycin works at a cellular level. The key lies in a pathway known as mTOR, which stands for Mechanistic Target of Rapamycin. This pathway is crucial for regulating cell growth, proliferation, and survival. In simple terms, mTOR is like a master switch that tells cells whether to grow and multiply or to slow down and repair themselves. When mTOR is highly active, cells focus on growth, consuming energy to build new proteins and organelles. But when mTOR activity is reduced, cells enter a state that favors maintenance and repair, a process that's closely linked to longevity. Rapamycin works by inhibiting mTOR, essentially turning down this master switch. By doing so, it pushes cells into a state where they focus more on repair and less on growth. This is important because excessive growth can lead to problems like cancer, while enhanced repair mechanisms can potentially slow down the aging process and extend lifespan. In fact, studies in various organisms from yeast to mice have shown that inhibiting mTOR can significantly extend lifespan. But here's where things get really interesting. While compounds like resveratrol and NAD also target cellular pathways linked to longevity, they work very differently from rapamycin. Resveratrol, for example, activates a family of proteins called sirtuins, which are also involved in cellular repair and longevity. However, the effects of resveratrol are more subtle and less direct compared to rapamycin. While resveratrol might tweak certain cellular processes in favor of longevity, rapamycin outright shuts down the mTOR pathway, leading to a more pronounced shift in cellular behavior. NAD, on the other hand, is a molecule that plays a key role in energy metabolism and DNA repair. As we age, levels of NAD in our cells decline, which is believed to contribute to the aging process. Supplementing with NAD precursors is thought to restore these levels, thereby supporting cellular health and longevity. However, like resveratrol, the effects of NAD are more about boosting the cell's existing repair mechanisms rather than fundamentally altering how the cell operates, as rapamycin does. This difference in mechanisms is why rapamycin is considered by some researchers to be one of the most powerful anti-aging compounds discovered so far. It doesn't just support the body's natural repair processes, it forces the cells to prioritize them. This is why rapamycin has shown such dramatic effects in animal studies, often extending lifespan by as much as 20 to 30%. These results are far beyond what has been seen with other compounds like resveratrol or NAD. Moreover, one of the most compelling aspects of rapamycin is the consistency of its effects across multiple studies. In the world of scientific research, replicability is key. A drug or compound can show promising results in a single study, but unless those results can be consistently replicated across different studies and settings, they remain in question. With rapamycin, the story is different. Its effects on extending lifespan and improving health markers have been consistently demonstrated in numerous studies involving different organisms, from yeast to mice. This is not something that can be said for many other longevity-promoting compounds. For instance, while resveratrol initially showed great promise in early studies, subsequent research has struggled to replicate those findings consistently, especially in more complex organisms like mammals. Similarly, NAD precursors have shown potential, but their effects are still under investigation, and the results have not been as consistent or as robust as those seen with rapamycin. The ability of rapamycin to produce consistent results across multiple studies is a major factor that sets it apart from other compounds. It suggests that the underlying mechanisms by which rapamycin influences aging are more universally applicable across different species, making it a more reliable candidate in the quest for extending lifespan. Another aspect that makes rapamycin so special is its ability to mimic some of the effects of calorie restriction, which is one of the most well-established ways to extend lifespan in various organisms. Calorie restriction has been shown to increase lifespan in everything from worms to mammals, likely because it reduces mTOR activity, among other effects. Rapamycin, by inhibiting mTOR, can mimic this state of calorie restriction without the need to drastically reduce food intake. This has huge implications because, let's face it, sticking to a calorie-restricted diet is extremely difficult for most people. Rapamycin could offer a way to get some of the benefits without the sacrifice. But with all these potential benefits, why isn't everyone taking rapamycin? The answer lies in the fact that while rapamycin has shown promise, it's not without risks and side effects. Rapamycin is an immunosuppressant, which means it can weaken the immune system, potentially leading to a higher risk of infections. This is particularly concerning for long-term use, which would be necessary for anti-aging purposes. Additionally, because mTOR plays such a crucial role in many cellular processes, inhibiting it too much or for too long could have unintended consequences, such as impairing wound healing or causing other metabolic issues. That being said, researchers are actively studying ways to harness the benefits of rapamycin while minimizing its risks. One approach that's being explored is the concept of intermittent dosing. Instead of taking rapamycin every day, which could lead to excessive mTOR inhibition and unwanted side effects, some studies suggest that taking it intermittently, such as once a week, might provide the longevity benefits without as much risk. This is still an area of active research, and more studies are needed to determine the safest and most effective dosing strategies. Another promising area of research involves the development of rapalogs, which are compounds similar to rapamycin, but designed to be more selective in their action. The idea is to create drugs that can inhibit mTOR in a way that maximizes the longevity benefits while minimizing side effects. Some of these rapalogs are already being tested in clinical trials, and they could represent the next generation of anti-aging therapies. So, where do we stand with rapamycin today? The truth is, we're still in the early stages of understanding its full potential and how to use it safely. While the animal studies are incredibly promising, human studies are still limited. However, the excitement around rapamycin is growing, and more researchers are turning their attention to this compound as a potential key to unlocking longer, healthier lives. For now, rapamycin remains primarily a subject of research, with some off-label use by those in the longevity community who are willing to take the risk. But as our understanding of rapamycin deepens, it could one day become a mainstream tool in the fight against aging. In the meantime, it's important to approach rapamycin with caution. While it has the potential to be a game changer in the field of longevity, it's not a magic bullet. Aging is a complex process, and no single drug is likely to address all the factors that contribute to it. However, rapamycin represents a significant step forward in our understanding of how we might one day be able to extend human lifespan. As we look to the future, the continued study of rapamycin and other mTOR inhibitors could provide valuable insights not only into how we age, but also into how we can live healthier, longer lives. Whether or not rapamycin turns out to be the longevity breakthrough many hope for, it has already changed the way we think about aging and opened up new avenues of research that could one day lead to even more effective therapies. For those interested in longevity, it's worth keeping an eye on rapamycin as the research continues to unfold. While we may not yet have all the answers, the potential of this compound is too significant to ignore. And who knows, in the coming years, rapamycin could go from being a niche research drug to a key player in the quest to extend human life. In summary, rapamycin stands out in the field of longevity research because of its unique mechanism of action, which sets it apart from other compounds like resveratrol and NAD. Its ability to inhibit the mTOR pathway and push cells into a state of maintenance and repair makes it a powerful tool in the fight against aging. Unlike many other compounds, rapamycin has consistently shown its effects in multiple studies, making it one of the most reliable candidates in longevity research. However, with great power comes great responsibility, and the potential risks associated with rapamycin mean that we must proceed with caution as we explore its use for extending lifespan. The future of rapamycin is still being written, and it's a story that could have profound implications for all of us. That's the lowdown on rapamycin and its potential for longevity. It's a fascinating compound with a lot of promise, but like all things in science, it's important to stay informed and weigh the risks and benefits carefully. Stay tuned for more updates as research in this area continues to evolve.